have never seen how magical 3D movies can be until you see it in the hands of an artist like Oscar-winning director Martin Scorsese. He directs Asa Butterfield in a breathtaking, when I tell you it's breathtaking, new movie, Hugo. Take a look.
What does he do?
He's a wind-up figure, like a music box. This is the most complicated one I've ever seen, by far. See, this one can write. Magicians used machines like this when I was a boy. Some walked, some danced, some sang, but the secret was always in the clever.
Can we fix him?
Of course we can fix him.
Please welcome the amazing Martin Scorsese and Asa Butterfield. Yes, okay. My behind is a little bigger than it was.
Okay. Yeah, that was Jude Law, by the way.
Right. So, first of all, it's your birthday, Marty. So, happy birthday. Thank you. This movie is about a young orphan in the 1930s Paris who's living in a train station. This is not exactly the kind of movie I think most people are used to seeing from you. It's your, I guess people would think it's your first family-friendly film.
Well, it is in a way, yes. Yeah.
Why did you, what did it for you?
You know, for me, over the past, my youngest daughter turned 12 yesterday. And so the past 10, 11, 13, 12 years now, I've been living with a little one every day, which is different. Having a child at the age of 56, 57, it's a different perspective, because then you begin to see, what is that? That's the sun, you know. No, that's water. Because then it gets a little more, you know. She believes everything I say anyway. So it began to just seep into my to the work, really, how a child perceives the world. And when I read the book that Graham King gave my wife Helen, I looked at it. I said, this is amazing, because it has this wonderful story of this boy who was so isolated. And as a child, I had terrible asthma. And I was in the early 40s, and I was always isolated. I was never allowed to play any sports or run or laugh. They took me to movies. There was nothing else to do. They couldn't do anything else with me, so that was it. And so I sort of identified with that. And then, like, the mystery of the book that Brian Selznick wrote, the mystery is resolved through the mechanism of the motion picture camera and projector, that magic and that thing that happened when I was a child and I saw those images on the screen.
Yeah. And so this is your first TV interview. By the way, I have to tell you, this boy is so great in The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. You should rent that film. It's just brilliant, and he's great in it. This is your first TV interview. Wow.
Yeah, my first.
Are you nervous?
Ish. I was. But I'm all right now. Yeah.
Well, so let me ask you a question. When you're only 14, yeah, and you've been in films before, but did you know who this man was when you were first approached?
No, he was nice, yeah.
But you did not know who he was, did you?
Well, I knew of his films.
Okay.
But when
so far, so good.
Yeah, when I first was auditioning for it, the only reason I knew how sort of big a deal it was from the reactions I got.
What did you audition? What did you do to make him give you the part?
What did I do?
Well, what you did is he walked in the room, he looked perfect for it, and then he just read one scene. And Ellen Lewis is my casting director, so this is him, you know. And then, of course, Vera Farmiga, whom I worked with in The Departed, she told me, hey, you know, this kid is really good.
She was in The Boy
in the Striped Pajamas. Yeah.
Yeah.
She said, you've got to work with this kid sometime. And I think you were about 8 when you did that, or 9?
10. You were 10 when you did that movie.
And Martin, looking at this movie, it was done in 3D, which I told you backstage, it was so visually stunning. It was one of the best 3D films I've ever seen. Now, why was it so important to do it in 3D?
Was that always the plan?
Yeah, well, not really. Not really. About 4 years ago, we were going to do the film, and that was before Jim Cameron did Avatar. And but when Cameron did that, and I happen to really like stereoscopic images. I really do. I used to have little Victorian, those postcards that had 2 images on it. You put it in some sort of device and look through.
Oh, yeah.
And when I saw these images from the 1880s, 1870s, when I saw them 2D, it was fine. But when I put them in this device, I can almost, if there were soldiers in the field, I almost felt the weather. I felt the texture of
That's what this is filmed at, because I have to tell you, I am hated always because they gave me a headache. The glasses gave me a headache.
The glasses
This
were
movie,
your glasses.
they went over my glasses, and in this time though, I felt like I was passing people. As the camera's moving forward, I felt like I was actually passing. I would turn around and see who was behind me. I'm strange that way. But you had a lot of scenes with Ben Kingsley. What was that like?
Sir Ben Kingsley.
So does he ask you to did you have to call him Sir Ben?
I never built up the nerve to go up to him and go, "Hey, Bender," or no, I always called him Sir Ben. I think most people did. But no, working with him was amazing. He was one of them, if not the most sort of inspirational actors I've worked with.
It's a great cast. I mean, there's so many in the cast. Yeah.
Let's talk about I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to mention your daughter Catherine is also she produced a children's film as well. Is it The Elf on the Shelf?
Yes.
Oh, I love that. I love
She
the
had this
story.
idea a few years ago, and a friend Kenneth Waddle and her, they pulled it together. And actually, it's going to be shown on television on is it CBS? I'm not quite sure, but the day after Thanksgiving. And then goes on sale the day after that, the DVDs. And it's quite
I
nice.
just want to
It's
ask,
done in 3D.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. Sacha Baron Cohen is with you, and I understand that he never got out of character. That he was cross and grumpy when he was in the film, and cross and tell us about it. He was always the same.
It was quite weird because you think of him as like sort of Borat and Bruno and Ali G, and sort of you think he's going to come on set and pull loads of pranks, but he was really serious. Like when he wasn't filming, you'd have to call him station inspector and things like that. And so
He never got out of it.
no.
And also your scenes, Aza, your crying scenes, I know they were draining for me, but you say that they were very draining. How was that getting into those scenes where you were so vulnerable?
It's a bit morbid, but you sort of have to think sad thoughts.
Oh, you had to think so many sad thoughts.
But no, that was pretty draining, doing
That's tough.
take after take of crying your eyes out.
With thoughts and tears.
What if you could get an actor that just can't cry after every time you want it? I'm sorry.
I say no. That's always been that's a myth. But with him, he's a natural, and between him and Chris working with him, Chris Surgeon, they would get get ready. It's going to be an emotional scene, etc. And within 15 minutes, by take 1 or take 2, that was it.
You know what? You have to come back because clearly we have more to talk about at some point, Listen, we want to thank Martin Scorsese and Asa Butterfield. Hugo will be in theaters November 23rd, and members of our audience are really lucky because you're going home with a copy of the Hugo Movie Companion. We'll be right back.
Enjoy the view.